Welcome back to Best of Three. This is Bear Delgado here. Happy post-rotation, everybody. I know I've been away for a while, but, I've been off playing different matches and tournaments and stuff. Didn't really get an opportunity to go to Worlds this year. Kind of bummed, but still, I figured I'd come back strong with a post-rotation deck, and it's very rogue, in my opinion. And I know that a lot of people are, hyping the Mega Scizor right now, and I just wanted to share my variant. And I think it's just really good. It's just going to be like one of those, the Mega Auto No decks that just came out of nowhere. It's just going to be really, really good, and it's really fun to play. I mean, I took it to a league challenge yesterday, and I won. It was really good. I didn't lose one match, and it was awesome just to play. It was really fun. But anyways, on to it. We're going to play 2 copies of Shaman with the setup ability, and I think by now everybody knows what Shaman does, so I'm not going to really get too much into that. We're going to be running 3 copies of Scizor EX with Steel Wing for 1 Steel Energy. It does 20, and then next turn, any Pokemon that does any attack to that Pokemon, it does 20 less. Gale Thrust, it does 50, plus if it is promoted from bench to the active position, it does an additional 60, so that's a knockout with a Shaman. So, really nice. We're going to be running 3 copies of the Mega Scizor for 2 Steel Energies. Iron Crusher, it does 120, and you have the opportunity, the option. You have the option to either take away a special energy from your opponent's active Pokemon or discard a stadium. So I think that's it's really powerful, in my opinion, and it's going to be really strong. We're going to be running 1 copy of Giratina EX with the Mystic Heart ability. Mystic Heart basically is it's basically like a Pokemon Ranger in Pokemon form. Basically, any Pokemon that you have that have Steel Energy attached to it, there's no effect that can touch that, your Pokemon on your bench. So, with that said, like no Glaceon with its lock, or Jolteon with its lock, or Regice with its lock. So any locks is just not going to really go anywhere. So that's really nice to have. And it's basically just a given that you have to get that on your bench as fast as you possibly can. Soul Blaster for Steel Energy and a double colorless. It does 120, which is nice. Just, an energy more than what the Mega Scizor does. But the next, it's not really great, but it's good because like the next time that you use Soul Blaster, it does the base damage is 60. So 60 plus 120, it's a knockout on an EX if your opponent's not ready for, if they're not set up. We're going to be running 2 copies of Giratina, and I know this is the part where it gets a little weird, because people are like, what? Giratina, why? And it's basically because Renegade Pulse, its ability, no Megas can attack it, and if they're not running a Garbodor or Garbodor, however the hell you want to pronounce it, if they're not running one of those, they're in for a bad time, people, because then they're going to have to keep Lysandering out trying to get rid of that Giratina. If they just can't get rid of it and it's already set up, it's just gonna be it's nasty. We don't really care too much about the energy cost because we're gonna be running 2 Double Dragon energy, or we're running 3 Double Dragon energies, but it only takes 2. It only takes 2 Double Dragon energies to set up with the Chaos Wheel, and it does 100. And basically, its lock. If you Chaos Wheel, next turn your opponent can't play tool cards. They can't play tool cards, stadium cards, or special energy. So that's pretty big, in my opinion. We're going to be running 1 copy of Hoopa EX with the Scoundrel Ring ability. You play it on your bench, and you get to search your deck for 3 EXs. So pretty nice. We're going to be running 2 Trebush, and we're going to be running 2 of the Garbs with 100 HP. Garbotoxin ability, if there's a tool card attached to it, then nobody in game has abilities. Like, I know that I have abilities, but I think the question is do I really want my opponent to have abilities? And there's just ways around it. So there's just ways to get out of it if there's just ways to get around it if like I have abilities, but it's just worth taking it away sometimes. Like Volcanion EX, I really don't want him to power up, his Pokemon's attacks. So, it's just really nice to just have it. For the item cards, we're going to be playing one town map to see what's in my prize cards, or your prize cards, or whoever's prize cards is playing this card. We're going to be playing one special charge from the Steam Stage expansion. It lets you shuffle two special energies back into your deck. In my case, the Double Dragon Energy. We're going to be running two copies of Versus Seeker, two copies of Super Rod. Um, Now, with the Super Rod, you can shuffle any combination, three of any combination of Pokemon or basic energy back into your deck, which is pretty good if you need to sack stuff, early game. And everybody knows what a Versus Seeker does, so like I'm not even going to go over that. Uh, we're going to be running three copies of Escape Rope because Giratina is really hefty, and sometimes you just really need to get him out of the active position. We're going to be running four Trainer's Mail. Look at the top four cards of your deck, and you find if you find a trainer, you put it in your hand. You shuffle the other three back in your deck. Pretty basic stuff. And we're going to be running four copies of Ultra Ball, which is pretty viable because I mean, you need it sometimes, like especially at the beginning of the game. Um, if you don't have a Hoopa or a Shaman, necessarily you need the Hoopa. You're gonna want Ultra Ball for the two cards away and search for that Hoopa and get it out as fast as possible because you just have to. It's just a must. You have to have that Hoopa. I mean, yeah, it's an uphill battle if you don't, but it's fine if you don't. If there's no way to get that Ultra Ball, there's no way to get that Hoopa, and you don't have it. There's just ways around it. I mean, it's a really big struggle, but I mean, there's just ways around it to where you can win. So, and I think that's what's really nice about this deck. For the tool cards, we're going to be running two Scizor Spirit Links, which is, I think, the right number. We're going to be running three Fighting Fury Belts, and we're going to be running three copies of the Float Stone. And now the reason why I think that two Spirit Links is the right number is because like sometimes you just have too many Spirit Links in hand, and you don't have Scizor. You don't have enough Scizor, and sometimes they're prized, and it gets messy. And I mean, even with the Gale Thrust attack, it's just really nice because you can attack the Shaman um, relentlessly. For supporters, we're going to play one Skyla to look for a trainer card. We're going to be playing one in to shuffle cards back into your deck, you and your opponent, and then you draw your respective amount of prize cards that you both have left. We're going to be running two copies of Lysander, and it's just basically to be there, just to get that Garbodor or the Garbs off the bench and promote it to the active so you can knock it out because it's just not good like if somebody else that you're playing is running it because they have the opportunity to shut your abilities off and you just don't want that. Sometimes it doesn't even really matter. And we're going to be playing four copies of Professor Sycamore, which I mean he's just the best supporter out right now, and it just you got to play him. And I mean, I kind of struggled because I didn't know if I really wanted to play four, but I think four is just the right amount because you want to burn through your deck as fast as possible without decking out because you just got to get with the setup of this deck, you just got to get what you need as fast as possible. As far as stadiums go, we're going to be playing two copies of Parallel City. We don't really care too much about the bottom part. It's the top part that we really care about, the blue side. Now, if you're going up against Mega Rayquaza or you're going up against Mega Mewtwo, you want to shrink their bench down as fast as possible, especially with the Mega Rayquaza, just because it deals less damage. But if you're not going up against either two decks, it's a nice opportunity to Parallel City yourself because sometimes you get stuck with a Shaman or a Hoopa on your bench, and you just do not want them on your bench. Like they're just chilling, waiting to get Lysandered out. So what you want to do is you want to Parallel City yourself to three bench Pokemon. So you're gonna take these two and you're gonna discard them. Now, for consistency wise, you can take a Super Rod and you can shuffle that Shaman right back in. So odds of having that Shaman, you won't even have to Sky Return. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's only two Shaman that are being played in this deck. But I mean, if you Super Rod, Parallel City Super Rod, it's like you can have like up to the four of the setup abilities going. You can just get it going. And as far as it's concerned, like if you Parallel City yourself, It's so easy to just use Mega Scizor to just take that ability right off of you, so that way you can fill your bench up. But it's pretty nice. I like that little combination or that little mechanic. So I think it's pretty cool. In my favor, it took the cake. It won the league challenge, so I think it was pretty awesome. As far as energy, we're going to be running three of the double dragon energy, because you only need two to set up a Giratina, and it counts for all energy. So I mean, if you don't really understand what that means, you just need two of those energies on a Giratina, and you're set to Chaos Will. As far as the basic energy go, we're going to be running eight of the steel energy, and that's just like I said, the magic number. I don't think playing the shield energy is it's good, but I mean as far as like I think it's just good to do it the way that I've got. Now, it's not necessarily to say that anybody else could think can't think any otherwise, because it's completely that way. I mean, it's just to have fun with. So, whatever way suits you, go for it. It's. I would love some feedback, and I would love to see this deck being played, and just different variants. But as far as it goes, we're gonna be this is it. This is the deck idea. Mega Scizor, Giratina, and the Garbster, or the Garbs, and with a little help from Giratina goes all the way. But I definitely challenge each and every one of you that watch this, and even Josh from Team Fish Knuckles, and Chris from the Pokemon Evolutionaries, and Dennis from Yellow Swallow, and Donald from Dark Integral Gaming. Just try it. You know what I'm saying? It is up to you. Just have fun with it. I'm not saying to take this deck out and like automatically just start challenging people if you don't know what you're doing. But since I kind of explained a little bit like what this deck is about and like how it kind of works, I mean, it's so good. It's so good. I love it. I love Mega Scizor. I love Giratina. I love Magirina. I love the Garbs. These are just, it's so great. It's like, this is the rogue deck. So, with that said, thanks for watching, and I hope that I will see you guys very soon. And like I said, I challenge you guys just to try it and see how you like it, and let me know. Give me some feedback in the comment box below. And I'll see you guys next time.